basically APM is nothing but an automation tool. So automation tool for mobile applications or device testing. So whenever you are doing device testing or any mobile application you have to test, so either it is a tablet or it is a normal mobile phone. So for that you are using APM. So why we are doing that? Because nowadays most of the things are happening on mobile, so we are connected to mobile, we are most of the time using mobile only. So that market or you can say company is trying to reach to their customer through mobile, right? So for
Hmm.
that they are developing different kinds of app applications and other things. So as usual, if application is getting developed, we have to test it, so make sure that it is a bug free, correct? So mobile
Correct.
application manual testing, yes, and you know that there is a cumbersome in manual testing. You have to invest lots of time and so many repetitive tasks you have to do again and again, all those things. So they came up with this automation strategy because automation will take less time and it will do the work tirelessly. So why APM? Because Selenium was already there in the market, but Selenium is not capable enough. Selenium is not capable enough to automate mobile applications. Selenium is designed, or you can say developed, or it is capable to automate only web application, that too when you are launching large viewport.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi Praveen. Yeah, hello. Yeah, Praveen, I can hear you. Hello. I think he's on mute. Hello. Am I audible?
Ah, yes.
So what happened to Praveen?
I don't know. I think he has in mute. 1 minute, I'll check.
Hmm.
He's in the call, right?
Yes, but I'm not listening anything from him.
Yeah, I think he's in mute. Maybe.
So sorry. Sorry. So shall I continue or
I
what?
think. Yeah, I think his network may be slow. Something.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
So okay, so we'll continue that. So Selenium was already in the market. Selenium was already in the market, but Selenium is not capable enough to talk to any mobile application. So when I'm saying mobile application, basically Selenium cannot talk to your device, your mobile or your tablet or any other. Sorry, I'm getting irritated of this cold. So yeah, so for that, what they did, they took Selenium and based and enhanced that code. So that enhancement is called APM. So APM is basically a Selenium only, and it is having, or you can say APM is based on Selenium, and it is having some extra features which Selenium was lagging. So this APM they have developed to automate or to communicate your device, and if it is able to communicate to your device, it is able to launch the application and do all the activities in that. The same way your Selenium is doing when you are launching any application in a browser in a larger viewport. Where I am saying larger viewport, I'm basically meaning what this desktop or laptop. Okay. So these things we have already discussed. Since 2007 onwards, there is explosive growth in smartphones, and because of that, every company or every product owner is trying to reach to the customer on mobile, and they are developing uh, mobile application, and couple of more reasons are there. The network traffic, or you can say the internet, is now cheap, so people have started using mobiles frequently, and all the things are on mobile connected with internet. So yes, so everyone is trying to reach to their customer base through mobile. Okay.
Yes.
And these are the some basic features. You already know what is the difference between, I mean, what are the things you do when you do manually, and what things or what happens when you do. So these are the regions. You'll be having faster execution, reliability, since you have coded properly. So it doesn't matter you run it many times, it will give you the correct output if there is no break and other things, right? So these are your automation advantages. This you are already aware of since you have worked in Selenium. So like, so there are n number of tools available in the market. So why we are going for APM? Because APM is first of all free and open source. So you don't have to pay any license. You don't have to pay any other things, and it can automate all types of applications. So in mobile, there are three kinds of application. One is native, one is hybrid, and one is mobile web application or mobile web apps. So if you are launching Chrome, and in that Chrome you are launching Facebook, then that time Facebook is a mobile web application. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you are having native apps. So native apps, if you have seen in Android or any device which you are buying, it is having
Calculator.
it is having some default apps like calendar, settings, contact, and other things, right?
Yeah.
So those are called native
Yeah.
apps,
Correct.
because those apps are developed for only that platform, or you can say in case of Android or in case of iOS. So those apps are related to that particular platform or that particular OS. So that's why it's a native, correct? Then
Correct.
then there is hybrid apps. So hybrid apps is basically having both the features. It is acting as a native app as well as it is acting as a web app. So I'll give you one good example. So if you are using Instagram, in your Instagram you might see some advertisements are coming, right?
Yeah.
So if you click on and you are using Instagram in app, so that Instagram app is native app. Why? Because that Instagram is developed particularly for Android, and same Instagram is developed for Android as well as iOS. But what they are doing, they are not developing only one application, they are developing two different applications, because the Android and iOS are two different platforms. So development and other strategy are totally different. So whoever is developing Instagram, so they are developing for Android platform as well as they are developing for iOS platform. So that's why Instagram is native, correct? Now the advertisement which you are seeing in your Instagram feed and all, if you click on that, you notice uh, within that Instagram app, there will be a kind of browser, and it will start loading that URL and content, correct?
Yeah. Like a web element, if you load means it will go, it is an hybrid app. Correct.
Exactly. So that's why it's a hybrid app, because it is behaving as an app as well as a browser.
Yeah. Correct.
So that's why it's a hybrid app. as well as it's a cross platform. So when I'm saying cross platform, you can run it on Windows machine, you can run it on Mac machine or Linux machine, any machine you can run it. So that's why it's a cross platform. So open source, free, it supports all the majority of applications available in a mobile, as well as it's the cross platform. Apart from this, it supports a number of languages, programming language. You can code this, or you can write a script, APM script using Java, Python, C Sharp, JavaScript, Node.js, anything. So these are the different tools available in market. So if you see, one or the other tool, is applicable only for a particular platform. So ClashBash iOS is only for iOS, ClashBash Android is only for Iron, Monkey Talk, Robotium, UI Automator, Viewer, Cell Android. There are a number of other tools are available like Ranorex, Squish, Catalan, so many things are there. But APM is the only tool which is working on both the platform, either iOS or either Android. It will support both.
But APM will support for functional and regression testing only, correct?
Yes, so basically UI testing. So whatever
Yeah.
you are
If,
seeing,
yeah. If a mobile application wants a performance testing, means what kind of tool they use?
so they are having JMeter or other things they can connect and they can do it. So there is separate tools itself for performance testing of mobile application.
Okay, in JMeter even you can do.
Yes, so the JMeter is having this capability, and other tools are there, Load Runner, Neo Load Runner. So many tools are there.
Okay.
So these are the major languages which APM support. Apart from these languages, so many other languages are coming, Kotlin and so many things it supports. So APM supports all the languages, but the tools which we have seen here are having some constraints. One or the other is not supporting multiple languages. Either they are working on Java, so in that case they are not supporting C Sharp or Python, but APM is supporting all the major languages. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So how the APM works? How the APM works, and this is some example for your native, hybrid, and web app. So if you see here, I'm opening financial.com, then it is a web application. If I'm launching Times of India, in that Times of India, if I'm clicking some link, it is launching a browser, so it's a hybrid app. And native app, this paint icons, or you can say some settings or some contacts, those are native apps, because those applications are only for that particular platform. Okay.
Yeah.
So these are the things we need. So as I told you, Selenium was already in the market. Selenium were in the market, but this tool was not capable enough to talk to device directly. So in between, what they did, they created a layer. That layer is called APM. So what APM is doing, APM is taking Selenium code and passing it to the devices in the form of JSON wire protocol. So JSON is a data structure, so that whatever code you are writing, that will be converted into JSON format, or you can say JSON data format, and that will be given to this device in the using HTTP protocol. So actually these many tools are getting communicated together to serve your request, or you can say to do some actions in the device. Okay, so now this is the architecture. So here you will write some WebDriver script. So when I'm saying WebDriver script, it means you will write using Java, or you will write using Python or C Sharp or any other programming languages. Okay. So that code you will send it to APM. So how will you send? For that, there is something called APM client library. So that APM client library will take the WebDriver script and convert it into JSON wire or you can say JSON data type, and using HTTP path or HTTP route or HTTP call, it will pass to the APM server. So APM server is nothing but code written inside Node.js. So APM is actually written in Node.js language, and Node.js language accept JSON data using HTTP protocol. So that's why whatever code you are writing, no matter whichever language you are using, Python or C Sharp or any other language, so that will be converted into JSON data type using HTTP protocol by the help of APM client APM client library that will send this code to APM server, and later APM server will talk to your specific devices, either iOS or Android, and from them they will get it will get some response, and again it's a two-way process. So same thing will be given. So device will give the response to APM server, and APM will give the response to your code, basically to you, because you are the one who is writing the code. Correct?
Correct.
So, so to use APM in your machine, or to develop a framework and so many other things, basically these are the tools, handy tools which we need. So we need JDK, we need Eclipse, we need Maven, we need TestNG, we need Android Studio. All these things are required to do the setup for APM, either for Android or either for you can say iOS on Mac. Correct?
Correct.
So these are the, and after that you will see some kind of, if you run it properly, this is the APM, it looks like, this is the APM. So APM looks like this way, and here you see some actions are happening, that things are getting recorded here, which we will see later. So and these kind of codes, so these are the codes, or these kind of, this is basically your test script, or you can say this is the what to say here, WebDriver script. So you are going to write this way using Java, and here if you see we are passing some capabilities and all. Why we are passing this? Because it's quite possible, I mean, when you are writing code, your APM doesn't know where it has to send that code and which device it has to communicate. So you have to specifically tell, yes, this is the device name, this is the platform version, this is, so based on that, it will see whether that device is available in your environment or not. If yes, then only it will communicate, otherwise you will get error saying that device is not found. Correct? So that's why we are passing this capabilities, which we discuss later. So basically this is a snippet, or you can say this is the structure. This way we have to write the code in our automation script. Correct? So to do that, as I told you, these are the softwares we need. So I'll show you what are the softwares available with me. So how would I check what are the things available with me or what not, and so that I will download it. So I'll go to my terminal and I'll just say Java version. So if I'm getting some Java version output, then it means Java is there. So see here it is saying Java 1.8 is there. It means Java is there. Otherwise, I have to install it. Then I am having Eclipse. If you want, you can have Eclipse. You can have IntelliJ, or you can have the higher version of Eclipse, that is Spring Tool Suite. So I will preferably use this most of the time.
So, Rakesh, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi, Praveen.
Hi. So the Spring Tool, is it a advanced version of Eclipse?
Yes, it's the advanced version of Eclipse. So how this is advanced? It is Spring is a framework which is used by for people to develop, right? So this when they use using Eclipse, they had to download a Spring externally, but this Spring Suite STS shortcut is STS. Now it is in market. So Spring.
I'm having.
Yeah,
okay. No, I understood. I got it. Thanks.
so Spring framework is coming by default. So that's why people are using nowadays this, but it is a higher end, or you can say higher version of Eclipse. Okay.
Okay, sure.
So yeah. So the things which I was telling you. We required, so Java is there, Eclipse we got. So what else we need? We need Android Studio or Android SDK and other things. So one by one I'll show you where I am having and how and same things you too have to do this. So Maven is also there.
So for Maven, it's a dependency, right? We have to.
No, Maven is actually a build tool. It should be installed in your system, and then using that Maven you will be able to
Add the dependencies. Okay.
it is something like Eclipse is an editor. So first Eclipse should be there, then only you can start writing the code.
Right.
Okay, so we got Maven. Then in that case, I need Android Studio. So if I show you, basically Android Studio, I need to get Android SDK. So if a Java developer wants to develop, or if you want to write a Java code, you basically in your system Java should be there. That's why you are installing JDK, right? Same way, if you are trying to either develop or test, or basically you want to interact with Android devices, Android application, you should have Android SDK or Android environment available in your system. So who will provide you that? So Android Studio will provide you this environment. So if I launch this, if I launch this and let it complete, and if I show you here, so see, these are the different versions of Android currently I'm having in my system. And with for those platforms, these are the different kinds of tools, or you can say these are the different kinds of libraries I am having in my system. Okay. So if I want to show you, I can show you here. So where you will get this. So shift G, see here Android, inside that Android SDK, and here are those tools. So build tools, basically, once we'll go in detail, we'll see why we need all these things. So see, whatever code you are writing, that code is internally calling these files, and it is serving your purpose, or it is communicating with the device. So instead of using this physically, your code or your APM is taking care of all these things internally. You don't have to run these files manually. Okay. So you'll get a virtual device emulators. You'll get some extra tools from Google or Intel or other things. You have platform tools which will help you to get the packages and other things. You have different platforms, Android 28 or Android, so whichever you want. You have skins. So these skins are nothing but different kinds of look and feel. So how you want to, if you want to create a virtual device, then how that device will look. It will look like Nexus 7, Nexus 5. So these are the different kinds of devices available in your system. Okay.
Okay.
So if I show you now, so currently I am having these many devices available in my system I have created. If I want to create one more, I just have to click on this, and these are the available different kind of devices. So I have to select one and I can add it. So since I have already added, so let me show you how it will look. So this is Android 9 Pixel. So it will start, and this is my Pixel phone based on Android 9, and these many apps are already installed in this. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. So this way, either you can go for a real device or you can go for virtual device. The code which you are going to run in virtual device or will work same in real device also. Okay. So this is your, what to say, Android setup. So likewise, we are having iOS setup, and for that, the way we have downloaded Android Studio to get all the dependencies related to Android, or basically you can say to bring the Android capability or Android environment into our system, we are having Xcode for iOS environment and iOS dependency. So Xcode only works in Mac OS. It doesn't work on Linux. It doesn't work on Windows. So if you want to test iOS app, you should have a Mac OS. In Windows, you can only test Android application, basically Android devices. But in Mac, yes, you can do both. You can test Android as well as iPhone, or you can say iOS related devices. So if I show you this, so this is so Android Studio is basically editor. So here you can start coding. You can, so developer is generally using this to develop application and all. We are not using it. We are just using it to get the Android Studio and other related library, other related tools, and to create virtual device. So after that, we'll not do anything here. And we are having this Xcode. So let me show you. So this is the Xcode, which looks in the, and here you are having n number of iPhone, or you can say iOS devices available with you. You can use any, so from iPad Pro to iPod Air, and so many things are there. You can choose any of them to test. Okay. So Xcode is there and all. Now I will show APM. So this is, APM can be installed in couple of ways, but most preferably this one. This is the easiest and this should be very reliable. So if I run it now, this is your APM. So this is actually the tool which is going to talk to your device. And what I will do, I will write code. So where I'll write the code, I will write code here, suppose. So this is the code, this kind of code I will write here. These are the code I will write here. And this code I will write in the Java language. Yes. So I should have Java installed, and later this code, if you see the architecture, you are writing the WebDriver script. So the script which you are seeing currently is a WebDriver script. So this script will be converted into, as per this architecture, into a JSON format using HTTP protocol, will be passed to APM server. So who will convert this WebDriver script into JSON format and into HTTP this? So that will be by this jar here, that is called APM Java client jar. So n number of jars are there. I'm using it for my different purpose. But in your case, this is the jar Java client. So it is being used to convert this WebDriver script into HTTP format, and later it will go and send, it will be sent to APM, and APM will later run this code into the device. So if I run it here currently, what will happen? I'm just trying to launch a calculator in my device. So I'm running it. If you see, my APM started working, and in this device, a calculator will be launched. So see. Correct?
Correct.
So what I did, I just wrote the code and other setups which I have made it. So that setup is very important in APM. So my part will be then just to write correct code For everything we have a different kind of methods for clicking, for scrolling, for everything we are having methods. So we have to use that, we have to write the code, and we just need to run it. So later that code will be converted into some JSON format using this client. So this client will take care of this code, and whenever you will run, so your APM will, as soon as your APM will get the code, it will start doing some activity. So currently, if I run it again, and if I show you, see, it started doing activities because it got the data in the JSON format, which it is accepting using HTTP protocol. So all these codes which I have written in Eclipse got converted into JSON. The data, that JSON information is passed to this APM. So APM decoded those JSON data and then passed on to this device and does the activity.
The same code, if we want to do for iOS, we should change that Appium driver to iOS driver, right?
Uh, Here, yes, you can do for iOS driver, or if you want to go for a common APM driver, that also you can do. Both ways are possible. But not only that, you have to change the capabilities also. So as I told you, your script is dumb. It is not smart enough to recognize where or which device it has to go, and it has to run. Correct?
Correct.
So it doesn't understand that thing. So what I have to do basically is I have to tell this, I have to make this script smart enough. So by saying that these are the capabilities, so capabilities itself is nothing but adding the capability in the script. You are making your script enough smart, or you are adding the decision capability to your script so that it will decide, okay, where I have to go, which device I have to communicate, what application I have to launch. Everything is done by this. So these are the capabilities. So you have to pass device name, you have to pass platform name, platform version, and you have to pass app activities and app package. There is a reason behind that why we have to do this. But yes, if you are doing this, then only you will be able to communicate to the device, first of all, to a particular or your desired device, and in that desired device a particular or your desired application. Okay. So same way, I have most of the code written in IntelliJ. So I'll just show you to show the realize the difference. If you want, you can launch browsers also. There is no issue. So what it is saying? It is having issue server side origin unable to find attached device or emulator with OS 6. Okay. I don't have any device running on Android 9. Oh, sorry, 6. So that's why I was getting error. So it launched. I'm not passing anything, so that's why. But it's just launching the browser. That's it. Correct? Okay. So I'm not passing anything, so that's why it's just launching and it's closing. Okay. So now I was showing you calculator. So again, if I run this, so it will launch the calculator. And this is your APM running. If you see here, each and everything it is showing that what it got, what time, what data is coming, 200 status. It means that it got the input and it is executed successfully. So all these details you will get it here. Now I will show you in case of iOS. So what difference it will have. So here if you compare the two capabilities, here instead of Android you are passing iOS version, device name, browser name and other things. So let me run this, what it will do. So APM is running, a device will be launched, iPhone X. You see here,
For actually, I have one doubt. Like you told, right? If you want to do iOS, you should have a developer account
yes,
I mean provisions is certain. Yeah, but in web apps of iOS, we don't want that, correct?
no, if you want to launch Safari in the in this real device, then also you need at least profile developer things. But yes, you don't have to get team ID and other things. But yeah, certification should be there.
Okay, if I mean currently we will not be getting that Safari ID, right?
Currently, we will not get what?
No, no. What I was asking is, suppose I'm having a Mac, if I want to run a script in Safari for a web apps of iOS, I mean without the developer account, I cannot run, right. I cannot able to inspect the elements, right, for iOS.
Yes. So that's why.
But currently you are launching in Safari.
But it's a virtual device. It's not a real device.
Okay, in virtual you can run. When it comes for real, you may face problems, correct?
Yes. So in that case, you need those informations.
No. It's the same for the hybrid app also. Like without developer account, you can run in virtual device, like for inspecting elements.
For real device.
No, no. My doubt is like you mentioned, right? When you run in real device, you need some developer account, that right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Suppose I'm having an Intel hybrid app.
Mhm.
If I want to run in my virtual machine, whether it will run without developer account.
Whether it will run with the developer account.
Yeah, for inspecting the elements, that kind of things.
So yes, it could be or it couldn't be. It depends how that application has been defined. So I'll show you here. If you get anything like this, so here I'm having one zip file or .ipa file. So if I show you, so here this is the application or this is the app which I am going to install. So if you get some file like this for your application, Intel or something, correct? If you get in this format, then in that case, you need not have to have a developer or you can say or licensed profile. Okay.
Yeah.
But if they are installing it in this device, then you have to get that device other things. So I'll show you what you will have to do that.
Actually, currently we are having an IPF file.
So IPA file is also fine, no issue. If you see here, you can go with all these formats, either zip, either app or either .ipa. Okay, and here you have to pass Xcode org ID, Xcode sign in ID, and update bundle ID. So these things you will get from your developer or you can say development account if you want to do it for your real device.
Can you send this 4 list alone? I mean, I can get from my developer, right? So that it will be easy for me.
Yes, so I'll ping you later. You can ask them to give it to you.
Yeah, so that I can also when I configure, if I face some difficulties, I can ask you, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Meanwhile,
Me?
yeah, pardon.
Yeah, actually, I'm facing some network connectivity issues. So, like maybe if you have recorded this, or like if you can just send this recorded video, because I'm facing delay in connectivity. So, not sure.
I am not the host, so I don't think I am having a recording option. Maybe you can ask my Tetra for this session. If they will provide you. I am not the host, so I don't have that recording.
Okay. Okay. Sandra, are you recording? Sandra, are you recording this?
No.
Don't worry, it's an introduction class. Anyhow, today we are.
Okay, no, no. Because actually there is a rain over here, so it's a problem. So,
Actually, Ben has requested for this, at least what are the things we are going to do, how things looks like and all. So she just wanted a brief kind of introduction, I mean idea what this APM is all about and all. So today I took that session. Tomorrow you both will have a laptop, so we'll do the what to say, setup and all there. So if you miss this recording also, there is no harm in that. There is no worry. I'll explain all these things tomorrow also. There is no issue. So that's it, Ben. I mean, these are the things we are going to discuss. These are this is
Okay.
we are going to proceed. And yes, before moving to your application, or I'll show you some of the actions which we do: scroll and other things, click, swipe.
Yeah.
Because these things only you will do in your application, right?
Correct.
So how to do all those things in one of the application, and later all these methods which if you want you can try in your application also. I don't have any issue. I'll tell you how to do that also. And later I'll explain you the framework. Framework is almost done from my side. So I'll give it to you. I'll explain you both how these things are working. Some
Okay.
examples I have already written there for you for the reference. And later if you want like this one session I'll take, and I'll automate one of the scenario or few steps, and later you can take it from there, and I'll be there to guide you.
Yeah. You will be writing in Eclipse or I that ideal like you told, right?
Wherever you write, the basically you have to write Java code only. So there is, I am fine with Eclipse or anything. Your wish.
Okay.
Wherever you say, I can write anywhere.
No, I have a doubt like in Eclipse, if you add some jars and later if the version keeps on increasing, whether it will affect that code.
So that's why we will. That's why we will not. We are not going for simple projects. We are going for this Maven project. So Maven will update the jars automatically.
Okay. So it will not have any
No, no.
problem.
So first, I'll in couple of classes, I will explain you the concept, how the scrolling, how the clicking, and other things. First of all, set up, then do the actions. Then, if you get enough time in your practice time, you can practice in your app how you are going to do that, and later the framework part, and you can start doing
Okay.
the automation.
Okay.
This GitLab, I told you, I don't have, so you can see anyhow your developers are using GitLab, right?
Yeah, I mean, I will check with them. I mean, I will create an account for 30-day trial also. For a sample, I'll give you also. Whether from your side you can do a small help for us.
Yes, but that the thing is, again, this
Mm.
GitLab is a new area for me. I don't use GitLab, or most of the community doesn't use GitLab. Either
Okay.
you use Jenkins or Circle CI, right? So this GitLab is
Otherwise,
again.
can you give us an idea in
Um, yeah, Rakesh. It's actually into CI/CD only. I mean, it actually uses a YAML script.
Yeah, I got your
So it
point.
uses that YAML script we have to write.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got
actually,
your
Yeah.
point. So what I'm suggesting is your development team is already using that, right? Since
yeah.
this is a new app or
Yes.
new
Yes.
tool for me, I will take some time to understand, or maybe I'll miss something to explain you. I'm not saying I cannot do. I can, but again, I have to go through that. I have to explore, and there is a chance that I'll miss something, right? Because it's a new thing. Since your development team has already done, they are aware of all the challenges and all, so they will be more helpful for you. So if they have done the setup for their code base, they can do it for you also. So it is like that.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, I
yeah,
also try to get, and whatever
yeah, yeah.
information I can get, I'll try to pass on. But see, I'm telling you frankly, if I take, it will be time taking, and in that case, you will miss lots of
Yeah,
other things because I'm not an expert. So whatever I know, I can teach you that thing better. Correct?
yeah. Sure,
Huh.
sure.
Yeah,
So
Rakesh, I think we can do that later when everything is set up. We can go
exactly.
ahead and try that.
So
Uh,
first,
maybe the yeah,
yeah, first
uh,
do the setup, learn the concept, and then go into the
yeah.
try to automate some scenarios, and that code pushing and setting pipeline is an easy task.
Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Correct.
this is the overview, and I hope when now you are clear what are the things we are going to do and how we are going to do. Correct.
Correct.
So tomorrow we'll do the setup. So Praveen, you are having Mac or you are having Windows?
He's having internet.
So he's having Windows. So in that case, he can work only on this thing. What to say? Android testing,
Yeah, and he can work.
and you can
Yeah,
work
correct.
both. So anyhow, you both are working together.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
can share with each other.
Windows,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, correct.
Bravin system, you can give a KT for Mac. I mean, I have my personal Mac that I'll get KT for like a setup.
Yeah. So and later you can explain him. Anyhow, I'll share the documents and other things, but
Yeah, yeah,
you
sure.
get it. Okay. Then see you tomorrow at same time, and we will be doing tomorrow setup. How to start with the APM things. Correct?
Correct.
Okay then. See you.
I tomorrow which time it will be?
Same time because again from morning till evening I'll have class there. So
Yeah, actually today is like 8 to 9 only. No, we have like tomorrow it will be like 3 hour session or how?
so yes, it can be because setup and all
Okay.
take lots of time. So lots of things issue will come. We have to deal with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, okay, today was just an introduction. Maybe tomorrow we'll have installation and all that, so it might take long time,
Yeah,
probably.
tomorrow on
Yes, correct.
laptop we'll connect from a laptop.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Actually, I'm also not in Bangalore, so that's why I have some network connectivity issues as well. So tomorrow, I guess it'll be good.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
sure.
Then okay then. Bye. Tomorrow.
And Rakesh, if I can ask the team to give me the recording session because I did not. I mean, I had some issues with connectivity, so I could not. I mean,
I'll try to
connect
find
you
whether they have
properly.
recorded.
So.
I'll try to find whether they have recorded it or not, or else I'll tell them to record it.
Okay. Sure.
Or else
Okay. No problem. No problem then.
what we can do tomorrow, joining Zoom, we will join on Skype. Skype we can record.
Yeah. Done. 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 No problem. Yeah.
Okay. Chalo, see you.
Yeah.
Rakesh,
Yeah. Sure. Sure. Yeah. Sure. See you.
hello.
Yeah, Vince, tell me.
And that Xcode origin ID, that sign in ID, like whatever I need to get from development team, that alone can you send me like in separate mail?
So if you are going to do in a real device, then only you need. If you are doing it in virtual device, then you don't need that. That is my point.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I want to check with the dev team whether it is available for this Xamarin.com.
Obviously, it will be available because they are developing the application which is required, so they will have this.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for iOS, what at all we need, that alone can you send me like developer account? I
I'll
hear like
send you mail so you can get it from them.
I'm not getting hello.
I'll send it in mail, all those details, you can get it from them.
Yeah, like entire list, whatever for iOS. I hear like that WebDriver configuration also I need to do something, WebDriver agent.
Yes. So all those things I'll teach you tomorrow because that is only the setup part.
Okay, okay, fine.
Okay.
Yeah, like today's PPT also can you share with us?
Yeah, sure. Everything I'll put it in Google Drive and I'll share the link.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rakesh.
Okay. Then. Sure.
Bye.